Hello everybody and welcome to the stream. Today we're going to be doing something a little different because I am not alone. I am here with the mighty Blue Orthodox. Say hello, Blue Orthodox.
Hello.
And today we are going to be playing Interstellar Marines cooperatively because they have just recently released their first co-op map slash mission, and after a patch, it is now at least somewhat playable, and I'm very excited because this game is cool.
Super crazy. Robot co-op madness.
Yes. So, I am going to get us into a co-op lobby here, and I'm going to try to pick one that doesn't have anybody in it at the moment, and hopefully you can join me, and we can at least get through some of this with just the two of us. Let me go ahead and
We can make it if we try.
just the two of us. Don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me hanging.
We can make it if we try.
Uh,
Just the two of us.
I also would have accepted you and I.
That too. Very accurate.
Alright, so I am in the dropship. Oh look, a person. Hello, person.
Hello, guy.
So this is basically how the mission starts. You start off in a very aliens-esque marine dropship, which, okay, let's get the obvious comparison out of the way up front. Yes, this game is very reminiscent of Aliens, right? Like, I don't think they're necessarily trying to avoid that comparison. Uh, it feels like take all of like the common sci-fi tropes of the past, 20 years when it comes to like, aliens and space marines and all of that sort of thing, and kind of roll it all into one package. And that's a lot of what you've got going on in this game, which is not necessarily at all a bad thing.
Oh yeah, it does a lot by itself. I think like on its own merits, especially with the gunplay. Um, the very uh, crazy hyper realistic way that they try and make you feel like for instance, if you look down at the ground you can actually see your feet, kind
Hmm.
of like Halo. So
Yeah, nice immersion, like nice, like simple details, like when you bump up against the wall here, like your gun comes into contact with the wall and it actually moves, which moves the lighting of the light source that's attached to the gun and stuff like that. There's just all those little details like that you expect from a good tactical shooter, but it's nice to have the tactical shooter mechanics associated with a sci-fi premise and setting.
especially as one as atmospheric as this one.
Yes, and speaking of atmospheric, we should probably open the door and get this mission started so people can see more of this awesome level than just the dropship.
I concur.
Lighting! Alright, so I'm going to let you take point since I'm kind of the camera view for the folks at home here, and I'll just try to back you up.
Gotcha. Now if I'm not mistaken, we have to find the ventilation shafts.
Yes, I believe you are correct. And actually, you can see we're getting a little diamond waypoint indicator on the HUD here, leading us to that.
Lots of dark. Ooh, keycard.
Very nice.
Attention to all crew. Some of our benefactors from Neurogen Pharma Corporation are visiting this facility on the 27th of this month. The purpose of this meeting is to increase their financial support to the vital work we are developing here. I therefore request that all service and maintenance personnel perform a full check on the station's main systems and wear the uniform in pristine condition. To the research teams, please provide updated reports on your work as soon as possible for presentation and evaluation.
So one really nice thing about this scenario is these audio recordings that really give like a lot of flavor for what's going on, and also the fact that you can do them kind of out of order. Because I think later you actually get prompted to go to that guy and find that key card, but like as you can see, we just found it early, basically.
Yeah, it just kind of builds its own lore, and I think the fact that you just find it as you progress throughout the instance is a really cool
Locate
thing.
local power grid.
So
Then you should be able to get doors and emergency lights active inside that grid.
I hear some robots moving around. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're somewhat terrifying. Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
Oh man, they're all running around already.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we should, it looks like that panel behind you is what you actually need to interact with. Yeah, so that should let us get through these vents.
Ah, there we go.
I'm gonna kind of cover our 6 as you progress. Just make sure nothing creeps up from behind on us.
I found way in.
Yeah, I don't know if the robots can actually go into the vents. I haven't seen that happen yet, but I wouldn't put it past them.
I got one. Dropping down.
Alright, I'm coming. Yeah, those robot sounds are a little bit unnerving. I don't know why I didn't notice them the last time we played, but they're really kind of creepy.
Oh yeah, they're just, oh man, so unnerving when you hear them just moving around like, where are they?
Yeah, and that's something about this particular game that I really noticed right away is like you really hear the enemies moving in a way that you typically don't in most FPS games. Like it made me really realize how silent most enemies are in most FPSs. Like they might yell at you or say something, but just the sound of hearing them like running along the catwalk above you or whatever does a lot to really build tension.
Oh, it's just, it's incredible sound design, and I think really just nailing home something that they really wanted to utilize with this game, and that is just such a ridiculous and just intoxicating atmosphere that they have of just really, again, like on the levels of like the first Alien movie. Like it's that unnerving when you're just running through this giant abandoned space station.
Yeah, and they make good use of the lighting, which is another. Oops, was that you? I heard something go book in there for a second.
Yeah, I'm hearing a ton of noises behind that door.
Yeah, we should probably perhaps concentrate on clearing out this area.
Yeah. Well, I got a key card right here again.
Okay.
Leo Stark asked me to check on the access door to the storage room. Apparently someone has been accessing it without leaving a record of whose access card was used. The access mechanism is working fine and the manual override hasn't been used as far as I can tell. Given the circumstances, I think someone got their hands on a skeleton key, but the only people able to produce one would be me, David Cohen, and Snyder. Still not sure if I should report this back to Lee or Mr. Snyder.
darkness. You so crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and this is one thing I definitely have to give this game is I think it has some of the best lighting of any game of this type that I've played in quite some time. Like it just has an amazing utilization of like the real-time lighting effects that it does have. You really feel like the darkness in this game is almost like claustrophobic in a way that it just isn't in most games.
Incredible.
Also probably worth mentioning that this is still very much early access and like nowhere near
One
being
online.
done.
One to
So
go. Proceed to the next power core location.
it's kind of crazy that it's as good as it is even in this kind of early stage of development.
Yeah, I mean, I think as soon as they put more polish. Oh, I hear something running up there.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think as soon as they put just a little bit more polish on, the mechanics, and at the end of the day, just more content. This game could really stand on its own. And I think possibly get a really strong following.
Hmm. Yeah, and this doesn't even really, we're not even really touching on the other aspect of the game here today, which is the PvP, which is also quite good. But I mean, honestly, this scenario or this concept of the cooperative multiplayer is really what attracted me to this game conceptually in the first place. So I'm obviously really excited to actually see this stuff in action and like playable because it's been quite a while. We've been waiting for this now.
Yeah, but clearly, I mean, especially from what we've seen of this level so far, I mean, these guys have been busy.
Yeah, there's a lot of new assets that I've seen in this level in terms of like textures and objects and stuff like that that definitely weren't represented in any of the PvP maps. So it's not like they just took assets from the
Both
PvP
power
maps
cores
and copy and
online.
pasted them.
Enter the
Like
control
they
room
actually
and
made a
force
lot
a
of
system
new
reboot so we can access
assets
the
for
research
this
lab.
co-op level. You can tell, especially the deeper in you get to it. Like some of this initial stuff is a little bit recycled, but the stuff later, like when you get into the upper levels of this space station, it gets pretty unique versus what I've seen before in the game.
Oh yeah, from the textures just to, like you were saying, just the wide variety of assets that they give you. I
I'm really
mean,
starting to lose my patience
they've
with this woman. I know
really
product
nailed home
development
what they
from
were
far too
going for
slow.
with
Other
this,
people need their
because it's
equipment
like,
repaired as well.
it's weird because it's
One was
again
the
like
Schneider
your
pushing her to the
space
top of the pile.
age,
The other lab
next
was
gen,
even quality
crazy,
better.
almost like
This is much
utopia
easier to deal with
looking
than the
like, but
program
it's just
contemplated. The
completely
plan is proving
abandoned
quite
and kind of
stressful to be
disheveled.
around.
And so you're like,
Spending
what
too much
happened
time
here?
in front.
Well, it just goes to show too, like how much of a difference lighting can make in a level. Because if you walk through this level with the lights turned on, it's very innocuous and just normal and nothing scary or intimidating at all about it. But just turning off the lights does so much to like just turn it into a freaky nightmarish hellscape.
Oh yeah, and again, especially given since this game's lighting system is off the chain.
Hmm.
Found another one.
Schneider just came around asking
Nice.
about the missing supplies from storage. Had to tell him about Dr. McGillen's last breakthrough and about the ramifications of her results. He became rather interested in my own side experiments, asking me to continue and not to worry about starting an investigation. Apparently his contacts in the ITO defense departments are interested in science research, which means that funding is no longer an issue, even if Neurogen is blocking us.
Well,
That wasn't at all terrifying.
not Not at all.
It looks like we may have had a third player join.
I was gonna say, yeah, we're getting some company.
That's cool. So this scenario can actually be played with up to 4 players. And since the only servers available right now are the ones hosted by the developer, it's pretty much like open season. You know, you can pretty much jump in and join any game in progress even, and then you kind of end up, you know, just picking up the mission at whatever point it's at when you join.
Yeah, they do a really good job of just kind of, again, the seamlessness where it's just, you know, whoever joins, they basically just spawn in and join up wherever the group is.
Well, actually, I think they spawn in at the dropship, right? Which is kind of a
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
mechanic, right? Because it's like, oh yeah, of course the reinforcements would come from the dropship. You know, almost as if to say, oh, there were just more Marines in the ship and now they're coming out, which I think is kind of a cool way to handle that.
Yeah, so I mean, it still gives you, it still, you know, makes you have to take the incentive to catch up with the team, kind of figure out where they are in the instance.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not sure what's behind this door.
Well, I guess there's one way to find out. That seemed like a robot.
Yeah.
I definitely saw it. There it is. Looks like our comrade has caught up with us here. Alright, everybody onto the lift.
Going up.
Oh, it looks like we got a 4th too.
We've got a transformer and a stalker.
Nice.
I think it's important to mention too that this game does have friendly fire, so you really
Yeah, you really
have
have
to
to check your
watch.
fire. Yeah, for sure. I've actually gotten killed by my own teammates more than a few times in this game, both in the co-op and the PvP.
Biohazard contamination detected at Biolab 4. All crew required to remain in their area until further notice.
What remaining crew?
Oh, you mean robot lunch?
Yeah. Oh,
Dr. Sarah was right. Someone is accessing the storage room and taking supplies without signing them off. Whoever it is, there's only the timestamp left. I can't identify anyone. I've asked Kang 2 to check on this and see if anyone altered the access mechanism, but I'm still waiting for his report. I should notify Mr. Snyder about this.
There is one little mechanical thing that annoys me sometimes in this game in its current state, which is that sometimes when you go to ready your weapon and bring up the iron sight, sometimes when you click the right mouse button, it'll toggle the iron sight view. Or if you click and hold the right mouse button, it'll just hold it until you let the button go. And sometimes I end up doing what I didn't intend to do because that is a little bit subtle.
Always the same thing. Doesn't matter whether
yeah, yeah. I mean, I would definitely, because I was actually just testing that myself. I'm like, wait a minute. And I'm like, that is a bit, that is kind of weird how
So
they
it's
do
like,
that.
yeah, it's like if you keep the button held for more than a second, then it becomes just holding the sight up until you let the button go. But if your intent is to toggle it, but you hold it just that split second too long, then you end up putting it down when you didn't mean to. But I mean, that's just a matter of getting accustomed to it. It's not, I wouldn't necessarily call it a flaw in the game or anything. It's just something unique about the way that it works.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Another one.
Always the same thing. Doesn't matter whether you're still in college or at a top-level
It's a hard knock life, yo.
You know, it's hard out here in space.
For a science pimp.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they really have nailed just the feel of these environments. Like as you're progressing through this level, you really feel like you're going through some facility. You know, like there's a few little like particular
Elevator
decisions
access
they made.
restricted. Unable to exit on research deck. Crew quarters are in the upper deck. Locate key card from a research team member to access the research deck. Remember that the Omega Solution mercenaries had positioned themselves there. Execute rules of engagement.
Yeah, so I mean like there's little like contrivances they make where it's like okay, you can't use the elevator to get to this section of the station, so now you have to go up this crazy convoluted stairwell. um, but like and then like sometimes you think about like the way that this is designed, would this really be how an actual functioning space station would be laid out? Probably not. Like some of it's clearly just artistic license on their part, but you know, it's all good. It's just weird because like for the most part I feel like they do try to make things seem at least realistic or plausible in the way they design them, but then every once in a while you can tell they're just doing something because, well, video games.
The golden rule of the video game industry and developing is it has to be cool.
Hmm.
It has to be just because video games.
Yeah, and I mean you can't really hold that against them in particular. That's just kind of the way things are. Although I noticed that this is one of those sections of the game where it gets a little framey. Like I drop a lot of frames in this section going up these stairs for whatever reason.
These are the
Yeah, I'm
locations
getting a
for
little
key
bit of that
members of the
myself.
station's research crew. Their key cards will provide access to the research deck.
Which is probably just a matter of optimization, because I'm certainly not my machine not being able to do it. There's just something weird happening in the game.
Yeah, I mean that just I was gonna say especially your machine.
Yeah.
Some say that VT's machine is the only supercomputer that can stream and run a game in full settings without any hindrance, barring a Ubisoft game.
Oh,
Team beat
burn.
down.
Uh-oh,
Auto override cancels in
somebody got
15
smoked.
seconds.
I'm wondering if that has anything to do with multiplayer latency. Like I wonder if maybe that's a lag thing that's causing that frame loss.
You know, it could be because if this guy is from Russia, then that would be explaining the drop.
Yeah, I wonder if somehow the engine performance is tied to the latency.
I've had to deal with more complaints than usual this week because of the communications restrictions. But Ruben is correct in most of them. After our arrangement with the ITO, we must be very careful on the information we let slip to the outside. At least until the board of investors has had the opportunity to weigh in on the matter. I'm sure they will agree with Ruben's decision to let Dr. Barbera pursue this new avenue of research. Besides, it will surely provide much better profit than the one we achieve by treating the sick.
Reroute local power grid to access apartments. There is an override switch in the lower section of this deck.
Yeah, I've noticed that this game doesn't seem to do a lot of the cheating that most FPSs do in terms of like, oh, if there's a drop of packets or latency or whatever, they'll like make assumptions about where players are supposed to move or where enemies are supposed to be. It seems like this game's a lot more literal and a lot less forgiving of those sorts of issues because they're trying to be almost more city in the way they represent things. So I feel like that could have an impact on the engine as a whole, like because they're not willing to make those assumptions. Oh my god.
On a calmer note,
Yeah,
I concur.
Suit system.
that's why you always go with a friend. You never go alone anywhere in this game unless you want to die.
Moving slowly. Moving very slowly.
But one good thing about this is if we're moving slowly and you hear footsteps, that means that something is running towards you.
Team takedown. Revival override cancels in 15 seconds.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's gonna be bad. I don't think we're gonna make that.
Oh. Oh no.
Revival override cancels in 15 seconds.
I got you.
Whew. It may have been reckless on my part, but
Oh, you were trying to save your comrade. That's very admirable. And you had me backing you up, so you know it was all good. Whoa, 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 whoa. Jeebus. No, that was I had your back for that whole maneuver. That was good.
whew. Oh, watch out. Guy with the gun behind you.
A lean around corner option here would be nice.
Yeah, which is definitely something that kind of bothers me, is like because they have really a lot of other things down, especially from like the first person perspective in the category of immersion, but
Mhm.
the leaning would definitely come in handy for this game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I understand it gets a little tricky, you know, with the rifle coming into contact with walls and stuff like that, and they may be trying to find that like fine balance between realism and fun, and I feel like they definitely are finding that for the most part here. But there are certain things where, having played a lot of other tactical shooters, I kind of wonder why certain things that are in those games aren't in this one. But I definitely feel like they're on the right track overall.
Oh yeah, it's still very solid, especially given it's only like 3 guys.
Hmm.
Or very something equivalent to a very small team of people.
Yeah.
Also, aerial dispersion of a modified viral agent has proven to be just as effective as individual inoculation and much simpler to apply. Just need to place samples on a closed environment and spray.
I also feel like I don't ever want to be the sort of person who like complains about a missing feature until I look at a game and decide whether or not that feature really needed to be there. Like I don't want to just say, "Oh, this game needs lean" because
Team
other
takedown.
tactical games have lean.
Revival override
Like I'd
cancels
rather
in
look at
15
the big
seconds.
picture of the game and see like if that would actually make the game better. Because I hate it when like games just add features for the sake of adding features and they don't really serve the gameplay. So,
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess, I mean, it definitely too. Like in this case, with all the lighting and the aspects of that, like you can, especially like in the PvP that we were talking about before. That's one of the basically the main elements of that is the stealth factor. So maybe I think they would rather kind of just go it like that than have like this sneaky, leaning, because it is kind of um, misfire. It is kind of cheap, like in some games. Like I'll definitely admit when you, especially if you're playing a PvP game and you get hit from a weird angle and you kind of have to look at it for a second, like how did that dude just hit me?
Yeah, I mean, like,
So
somebody's basically peeking around a corner, like putting like 1 pixel of their gun around a corner. That's not optimal.
yeah, absolutely not. Die, robot.
That's another thing I really like about this game is one of the few games of this type that I've played in a long time where you actually have to check your six on the regular, because stuff will just sneak right up on you if you're not careful.
Oh yeah, it's very much tactical. Um,
When it's funny how like those instincts or those like behaviors really get dulled by most shooters, because most shooters are just so good about creating the shooting gallery directly in your path constantly that it really like I say, it dulls your tactical awareness. And so when you see a game like this where you do have to be aware of what's around you at all times, it's really kind of refreshing.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think it just improves your overall, I think, just FPS awareness of anything else.
hmm It also encourages good team play, like helping your buddy out and staying with them and making sure they're covered if they're doing an objective or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. We've got a key card here.
Nice. Do it.
Finally, some progress. The subject has shown improvement in the cognitive test and sensorial memory. After only 3 weeks of being administered the MT-17 compound on a daily basis,
Looks like our
most of the
buddies
subjects have also
revived.
shown intermittent explosive disorder, a behavioral disorder characterized by extreme expression of anger, often to the point of uncontrollable rage. It is yet unclear if this is the result of the lesions in the prefrontal cortex caused by the Alzheimer's, or if it's a side effect of the drug. We'll have to wait for the autopsy to make sure.
There's some sort of indicator all the way over here, at least on my end.
Alright, I'm coming.
Hopefully we can go over there from here. Okay, yeah, we can.
That's weird. Like it seems like running toggle sticks sometimes too. It's like if you tap the shift key, it toggles run on, or if you hold the shift key, it's only running till you let the key go. So same thing like with the iron sights.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very Arma in a way. Um, of course, I'm not used to guns actually handling this well in Arma, so it's kind of freaking me out.
Definitely not getting this level of gunplay from DayZ, that's for sure.
Oh, burn.
Burn!
That was a sick burn, yo. That'll be a topic for another day.
Oh, Bohemia, would you like some ice with that burn? Nah, I'm kidding, I'm fun.
You're just funnin'.
Funnin'.
So would you want to live in an apartment complex that looks like this?
Nah.
It's a little too sterile, right? Like it's cool. Like it would be cool like the first day you moved in, right? You'd be like, "Oh, look, it's a circle and there's plants and nice lights and stuff." But I'm thinking like that would wear off pretty quickly. And you'd just be like, "Damn circle, damn plants." So over this. How much am I paying in rent? F that.
I think it would just make it go stir crazy after a while, just because everything's like just white.
Yeah, so sterile and like
Yeah.
yeah, antiseptic.
Yeah, I could not
I
deal
mean, I
with
guess if
that.
you have to live on a space station, like this, having a little green space or whatever would be like something you would want, but yeah, this would be a rough kind of situation to find yourself in long term
Yeah,
in terms
yeah.
of just general curb appeal.
Finally, some progress. The subjects have shown improvement in the cognitive tests and sensorial memory. After only 3 weeks of being administered the MT-17 compound on a daily basis, most of the subjects have also shown intermittent explosive disorder, a behavioral disorder characterized by extreme expression of anger, often to the point of uncontrollable rage. It is yet unclear if this is the result of the lesions in the prefrontal cortex caused by the Alzheimer's, or if it's a side effect of the drug. We'll have to wait for the autopsy to make sure.
So that one we had heard before.
Speaking of stir crazy.
Yes, I think somebody's going all Hudson.
Yeah, our Swedish friend here seems to know what's up. Because he was saying that we have to find the key card.
Alright. Let's give it a try. I'm down.
Remember, I found it the one time we were running through, but we were never really able to find a way through this place.
Well, there's that other section that's like off, like to the, like as if you were gonna go upstairs, but then you take the ramp down and you end up like in all the bio labs, where there's like the dudes splayed out on the table and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I think that's actually where we might need to go at this point, but I'm not 100% sure about that.
Yeah. I'm not sure if we need this, that key card or whatever he's talking about to actually get in. Thank you, Arctic Gamer. Alright, most of the doors are closed in here, so hopefully it's in here somewhere.
Didn't see it in that one.
Nah, I'm still trying to find where this thing could be.
I wonder if it's random, like if it's randomly placed, or if it's in the same place every time. Because not really having been through this scenario very much, like I'm remembering a lot of this stuff, but not precisely enough to know whether it's exactly the same as it was previous times.
Yeah, yeah.
Some personal items have gone missing from the vessel. We know who you are.
Huh, that almost sounded like Microsoft Sam.
Nice.
Wonder if it is like a modified version of that.
It could be. I mean, that's a good way to save on your VO budget, right? Like, just have like text to speech read everything.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
and clearly,
it fits the aesthetic, right? It's,
yeah.
you would kind of expect like synthesized computer voice to be playing in a place like this. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Yeah, I kind of wonder if. Well, weren't we supposed? Okay, we already got the key card off of the scientist, right? Off of the actual body, because that's how we got in here, right?
Well, honestly, I think I'm starting to think that those yellow devices were just recorders.
Uh,
Um,
yeah, not actual
yeah,
key cards. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because Bjerg still is asking for the key card, and if anybody has found it yet, but unfortunately, I have not.
Yeah, I've only interacted with doors and like that one audio recording. So
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because the key card is yellow itself. Like, I've picked up one from the last time we ran through this.
hmm
Um,
where
so,
where is the indicator for it? Like if you did have it.
um, unfortunately, okay, here it is. So
Ah,
yeah, if you come over here and look at, that's
ah,
what it is.
okay, yeah. So yeah, I don't think I've ever even seen one before because I think every time I've played this, somebody else has just grabbed it. So did you pick that up or?
Oh, I'm trying to get him over here. Because if he knows where to go, I'd rather him have it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it makes sense. Then we can just kind of follow his lead.
Oh, well, alright. I'll pick it up because he said they got it, so.
Pass through the disinfection
Okay.
chamber at the end of the shift. Remember, it is everyone's responsibility to ensure the safety of this station.
Lead the way, Swedish pal.
I think somebody just closed it as somebody was opening it. Yeah, that happens pretty frequently when like you hear the double beep. Overzealous. Overzealous gamer syndrome.
Overzealous.
It seems like every time we come into this stairwell is where like the lag really either starts or stops. It must be something about the sheer like volume of objects in that upper area. Like maybe as those are being loaded out of memory, like things smooth out as we come down the stairs. Might be
Yeah, it
like a
could be.
texture memory management issue or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Especially given how much is actually happening.
The main is our objective. It is located below the hydroponics room. A security key card is required to access it. There should be one in one of these labs.
Alright, so we're gonna need another key card.
Equipped with several laboratories, offices, and an industrialized agricultural farm, Neurogen Pharma Corporation provides researchers with more than adequate space and supplies for all their needs. This tech also contains a quality control area to ensure that all of Neurogen's products manufactured at this site are compliant with ITO's regulations.
I just wanted to HUD.
Revival override cancels in 15 seconds.
Everything's fine. Nothing is ruined.
After all I've done to bring it to Neurogen's research department, that whiny little bitch will right back to Ruben. What is it to her if I'm spending too much time in my lab? It's my damn work. She wouldn't be so damn opinionated if I showed her my own progress. Maybe I should.
Alright, Beard picked up the key card again.
Okay, cool.
Thank goodness we have somebody who knows where they're going.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like I said the other day when we were playing this to test it out. Like, the answers are all there, right? Like the audio tells you what you're supposed to be doing, but like you have to kind of pay attention to the clues and know what you're looking for and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you can't just like YOLO rush through this and like just run around from area to area shooting everything. Like you kind of have to know what it is you're trying to do. Which I appreciate. I think that's one of my biggest complaints about modern gaming, honestly, is I feel like it's been dumbed down so much and like everything's so automatic and just handed to you that even just something as simple as having to pay attention to what people are saying to actually progress, I think is nice.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I mean, I remember seeing somebody talk about how they missed being like getting lost in a game world.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how people complain about like, oh well, you know, like the map is too big or whatever, and it's like this is a perfect case of like the game doesn't, you know, again you have to use the audio logs and the clues they give in order to actually, you know, figure out where to go and what to do.
Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
the first lab works are complete, and there is a potentially alarming result. The lab work is very similar to one of the patients that coded it. One of the volunteers from ITO military. Fortunately, I won't be able to report this. But I notified Snyder about it. Hopefully he'll take some safety measures.
Suit system enabled.
I almost bought it there. I was trying to line up the headshot and I waited a little too long. I feel like too, along those lines of what we were saying, that like it's one thing to have a big world, but it's another thing to have a big world that's interesting to explore. And I think that's the key, right? Like it's awesome to have a big world that you can make your own way through as long as the process of doing that is interesting and compelling.
Yeah, I mean that's really what it really kind of always comes down to that, right? Is like you need interesting things for the player to be actually doing in the world, you know, or again just interesting storyline that's happening, and it kind of encourages you to actually want to explore more of what the developers have made.
Yeah, just pointing out a little texturing glitch here. Again, early access, but just so you know, like, this floor is actually solid.
Nice that they don't make you float out in space.
Yeah, that would be kind of a bummer way to end this stream.
Just flying in, just falling into the abyss.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure if there's actually any fall damage.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I guess at some point you'd hit the end of the engine.
Another one of those seminars. I bet Cutler has been hitting on the new research assistant. Oh, that cute little redhead. I mean, the guy's good at what he does, but damn it, what a hornbug. Soon enough, either Schneider or Nurgen is going to have him put in his own little cage. Come on, little Dave. Come on, good boy. What a sight.
I haven't heard that one before. I think this may actually be as far as we've made it.
Oh yeah, yeah. We are getting close. So close. Dark Belch said to go to him.
Cool.
Locate the mainframe hub and retrieve research data. Seconds remaining. Hold your position. Research data successfully downloaded. All records deleted.
Oh, that's not good. Follow the Swedes.
Marines, we are leaving!
Cancels in 15 seconds.
I think I actually might have shot him on that time. Sorry.
It's easy to do, man. Like in the heat of the moment when you spin around, sometimes it's hard to tell friend from foe, honestly. Because sometimes there's that split-second delay before the name comes up.
Yeah, it's the same thing too in the PvP.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's so easy. When you just see somebody walking around in the dark,
Yeah.
you're like, oh shit, who is that?
Yeah, for sure. But it's good because again, like it builds up those tactical awareness, you know, tendencies, which I feel like, you know, just the fact that there aren't that many games that force you to deal with stuff like that anymore. That's the only reason you're not, you know, instinctively better at it. That was my bad. That one was my bad. Getting a little frame rate issue here too, which is not helping. But again, early access, I'm not going to criticize that. I mean, that'll probably get sorted out in the optimization pass.
Suit system enabled.
It's cool how whenever you get like severely damaged, how your suit gets quiet like you lose like your audio gets muffled and stuff like that until you like regen.
Yeah, yeah. It's all slick. Dark, why'd you go over there, buddy? Get to the dropship.
Nice.
Mission report. Primary objectives successfully completed. Minimum engagement. Station damaged from the diverse engagements with CTRs. Secondary mission objective failed. Detailed training report available in the internet. Overall acceptable performance, but there is a lot to improve. Training plan and schedule adjusted to your results.
Okay.
Oh, it was my bad. Apparently he was saying that you can't crouch.
Yeah, apparently there was a bug in this that was causing people to fall through this elevator or something.
Yeah. Yeah, he's saying to try and get closer. I don't know how. Oh, okay.
Okay, there you go. Nice.
Oh no.
Did you guys fall through?
Oh no! I see you guys through the floor.
No. I think that's just a glitch. I think whenever we actually get where we're going, it'll reset. I remember reading about this on the forums. This is one of the big bugs that they were trying to patch.
You have successfully completed the psychological and physical requirements to enroll in the Human Operatives Training Program of the Interstellar Warfare Initiative. We expect many good things from you. Do not give us the opportunity to doubt your skills. Welcome to Project I Am.
Woohoo! So that was all like a simulation, apparently.
Time for a well-deserved rest. See you on the other side.
What?
Yeah, they're gonna gas us. That's awesome. That's pretty great. That's very Half-Life-ish.
I'd have also gone with like GLaDOS.
Yeah, very,
Portable.
that's very like twist.
Mission objectives are to locate and retrieve research data from this station. Delete all records. Energy reroute successful.
All right. Well, I think that was a pretty successful run through that, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm satisfied.
Yeah, good times. Good times. All right, I'm gonna hop out of here, and I guess we can maybe talk a little bit about what we want to do for next time. But I guess until then, we will catch you guys later. Hopefully, you all enjoyed that, or at least we'll get to see the VOD on YouTube.
The tube.
Until next time.